Yeah, Ernest, you're not like, I don't mean to say it, you're not like a prototypical offensive tackle size, 6'5", 6'6", arms. How do you overcome maybe a guard's body type and play at such an elite level at the tackle spot?
Well, I definitely say it's been something I've been told since I first started playing football when I was younger. If you can't block nobody unless you can stay in front of them. So if you can stay in front of somebody, you always got a chance to block them. So I really take pride in being good in my technique, because I know a false step or something could be different to somebody else. So I just make sure I got to be on top of my technique just to make it for the lane.
Ernest, coming out of the Trinity League and playing at Bosco, you guys are noted to play some of the most elite high school football in the country, and yet there's still a transition. What are the things that you can't possibly be ready for in college, even playing at a school like Bosco and in a league like that?
Well, I could just say seeing guys like Jalen Carter in the locker room, stuff like that. It's not too many of those anywhere. So that'll just be the biggest transition for me, was just coming over, because I'll say we played high-level football in the Trinity League with as far as schematically and everything. So I'll just say the biggest transition was just bigger, faster, stronger people on the field.
Ernest, when you look to this spring after having a year as a starter, just how different does it feel? How much of a motivation or a boost, a confidence boost, is it to have started last year and now going through this spring?
I honestly feel it doesn't really have that much of a confidence boost, just because it's usually going back to work every day. So I would just say it would just be the same as it always was, just going attacking it one day at a time, one period at a time, one rep at a time, and just consistently trying to grow yourself as a person. Because if you get caught up in that stuff, that's when you get complacent and lost and all the other stuff.
Yeah, recovering from back surgery seems deeply unfun. How just much more comfortable are you feeling now compared to this time last year, and how is being healthy maybe helping you continue to grow your game?
Well, I always had confidence in it. I always knew that the surgery and all my rehab and everything went well. But like you said, just last spring, this time being the first time on the field since, I could say it's on your head a little bit, but you got to go out there and do it. But going into this year, feeling a lot better. It's easier on the mental standpoint, most definitely.
Yeah, Kirby said you had to improve your stamina, your work ethic and practice, all that stuff as you came back from that injury. Just what were the hardest parts of that and getting adjusted to what it takes to practice at an elite level and play at an elite level?
Well, I always said it takes football to get in football shape. You can do all the conditioning you want to, but it's mental and physical. It takes football to get in football shape. So you can take as many walkthrough reps as you want to, as much film as you need to be in, studying, but as long as it take reps on the field, live reps, to get comfortable with live reps.
Ernest, I know we're kind of going back in the memory banks, but your journey is interesting to me. There was a time when Ohio State was your leader. When and how does that change? I mean, I just wonder, from 10,000 feet, when a recruit is in California on the West Coast and you have coaches calling you, there's only so much you can see and hear. How does one go from thinking Ohio State might be the team to Georgia's the team, at least in your process?
Well, for me, it always came down to what school was practically, honestly, an O-line factory, and where you could play the best football at to be developed. And I feel like the SEC has, in the trenches and the interior-wise, the most competition in the league, and that's where you grow the most. So.
Was anybody or anything at Georgia, though, that jumped out at that, or a moment when you said, you know what, maybe this is the place?
Oh, definitely. My sophomore year of high school, Coach Eddie Gordon and Coach Luke reached out to me, and they offered me a scholarship. I remember that was the following year that they had the 2019 year with Andrew Thomas, Isaiah Wilson, Solomon McKinley, all those guys. So that was honestly just an eye-opening experience. If I want to take this serious, this is where I have to go.
Ernest, do any of the offensive linemen compare athletically and being fast as Jared Wilson?
Honestly, no. Jared, that's something I don't think I've ever seen, honestly. Just being a guy his size, being able to move. And it's not only just a straight line speed. I feel like it's the ability to be able to bend and move laterally. And as strong as he still is, I think Jared Wilson's a treat. He's one of the guys' treats for sure.
Ernest, what have you seen from Monroe going through spring and just the progress he's made since his freshman year?
Monroe's definitely made a big jump. like we were just talking about, the transition from high school to college could be a little bit challenging. So just coming, had to get comfortable in his own body, and he's been looking really better a lot this spring. So I like Monroe. You know, he comes in hard to work every day. He's always trying to get better. So it's the type of guys we need in the line room.
Yeah, I know he's a freshman year, still learning things, but what have you seen out of Joseph Jonah Ajanya so far, and what has maybe allowed him to stand out in any way?
Honestly, biggest thing is want to and work ethic. You know, that guy's always getting after it, giving everything 110 miles, going 110 miles per hour, 110%. So it's just a want to, and the fact that he's buying into the program.
Yeah, I'm curious. When you watched your first year starting here, what did you take away? What did you do well? Or maybe something you didn't do well that you might need to improve?
Well, if you couldn't tell by now, I still feel that everybody can be better at everything. So I'll just say one of the things that I look back on is I talked to Coach Searles about it recently, actually. It was being good in the first 4 seconds, but being like elite in the last 5 to 6 to 7 seconds and finishing reps. So that's one of the bigger things I'm looking forward to going into next year, just being able to have the ability to finish, like beyond almost not the play length, but to the play's over with for sure.
Hey, obviously, fast cars and things have come up a lot in the last couple of years that you've been here. I just wonder, within the program, you guys as players, how much have you guys sort of been talked to about that, you know, warned about it? Because clearly you have access to nice cars and fast cars, and I just wonder how it's been processed with the players within the program.
Can you rephrase the question?
Rephrase it? Yeah, have the players been undergone any type of classes or training or talks from Coach Smart about speeding in cars and drinking and driving?
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, we've talked to the police department. They've come down and talking to us. Josh Brooks has also talked to us, along with me, the Coach Smart, about what and what not to do and the right decisions to and to not make. So it's just on us to retaliate that information and apply it to our lives.
Ernest, Kirby told us at the start of his press conference with the high-profile deal that happened with ETN. He said this is a guy that's come in that the team really likes, has really embraced. Can you share with us what kind of person he is and what you've seen from him on the football field?
Most definitely. Well, I feel I had the luxury to get to know him a little bit in the All-American game in high school. We was just around the building together and got a chance to chop it up and everything. And I always thought he was just a really uplifting guy. You know, especially when he got here, he was always this great energy, always happy, you know, smile on his face, bringing good energy to the locker room, and we all embraced him with open arms, and we're going to continue to do that.
Yeah, Ernest, as Connor said, rehab from back surgery sounds rough. Just what were the most difficult parts of rehab from that? Is there anything special you still have to do now when it comes to that back and the surgery you had?
Honestly, not really. There wouldn't be anything I say today, well, honestly, besides just, you know, maintaining core strength and stuff like that. But I would say one of the hardest things about it would be to, you know, maintain your weight and stay at a good weight while you can't work out. And honestly can't even do anything, especially when you first get the surgery and you can't sweat. So it honestly, I would say the biggest thing, especially as a lineman, as a bigger person, would be maintaining like the weight you're supposed to be at while not being able to be active.
Hey Ernest, Coach Smart talked about a lot of the guys you've gotten to face, including most recently, you know, Mike Howell and getting to go against him every day. Between him as well as some of the veteran guys like Warren Brinson and Nazir Stackhouse, how have you felt like they've challenged you and helped your development since you've been here?
Oh, definitely. That's one of the reasons why I came here. Answering one of the questions I was asked a little bit longer ago too. I remember I was at the All-American game with Michael, and when against each other in the game, and we both knew we were coming here, we was just like, we're gonna see each other every day. We don't have any choice but to make each other better. So just coming with an iron sharpens iron mentality to practice, you know, against veteran guys like Warren Brinson and Nas, who've been around the program a long time, so they definitely know what they're doing. Then like the younger guys with a lot of athleticism, and that's a problem on the edge, like, you know, like Damon and Gabe and Sam and Pemba, you know. So it's really a good thing to come here. It's iron sharpens iron, and you don't have a choice but to get better.
Got time for one more question?
Did you ever have a moment where you doubted you could do it, and then did you ever have a moment of clarity where you're like, look, I can be a red shirt freshman at, you know, one of the toughest positions in football? Start.
I will honestly say I never had any doubts, just because I feel like if you doubt yourself, then that's the first route to failure. So I always say, especially being around here, whether it's the training staff, the coaches, Coach Smart, everybody in the building, the players, they just made sure to like uplift me and make sure that I didn't feel left out and I was still engaged and everything. So I would say that was great for my spirits. And I would just say having confidence, like when I started last spring, and to go out there and see like I'm still the same player, I can still do everything I could do before the surgery. I feel like that was a confidence boost, definitely.
Thank you, Ernest.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ernest.
Ernest.
Thanks, man.